Hi YouTube, this is Joe Calton with Calton Cutlery. You can find us on the web, caltoncutlery.com. Okay, so I got the foundry warming up on propane. It should be hot enough. Now this time, I hope you're going to be able to see this. You see that plate, that square plate inside the foundry? It's covering up the burner tube. Now it seems to like to have that plate when I'm running it on waste oil, but it really doesn't care for it when I'm running it on propane, because then I don't have the swirling effect. But with the waste oil, that plate kind of stops. It allows the airflow to atomize the oil, but then shuts the air down when it hits the foundry after it atomizes the oil, but before it can blow the flame out, I guess would be about the easiest way to describe it. So we're going to go ahead and set you back here a little bit so I don't burn my camera up. And I've already got the air valve turned on, the top of the oil tank. I'll turn that valve on, and then we'll open up that valve to start letting oil in. And it's on about 10 pounds of pressure, maybe 12, somewhere around there. That gate valve is really touchy. I've got a mark on one of the lobes of the handle to kind of tell, you know, how far open I am, but it doesn't control very well. It's one of those, you know, you open it up 3/4 of a round open, or it's about half a round open right now, and then, you know, that's off, but the second you go like the width of another lobe, that might be way too much. Now you see how that flame is changing color? That tells me that the oil is starting to get introduced. So I'll go ahead and shut the propane off, give it a little bit more air, and then start lining it out. And the bits of sparkling that you're seeing coming up, that's a little bit of what's left over of the paper that I dropped in there to light the propane. these welding goggles for oxyacetylene type welding, to be able to see inside there, because it's so bright you can't see what the burner's doing. But this right here is just kind of idling now. If I add more oil, and I can probably get away with maybe another quarter inch open on that gate valve. But that gate valve is really touchy right now, and I might be able to make it more controllable by pinching off on the shutoff valve. But there we go. And it does seem to want to pulse a little bit. You know, I don't know if that's, I mean, the first time I did this with that other tank, it didn't, I didn't filter the oil before I started filling the tank up. And so when I emptied the tank out, there was a whole bunch of sludge and nastiness on the bottom. And I think that was contributing to my problems controlling it. Now all this oil, I just took a wide mouth funnel, stretched a piece of old t-shirt over the top of it, held it in place with a rubber band, and then set it in an oil jug, and then started pouring the unfiltered oil through it. And it takes a while, but it gets all your big chunks worth of stuff out. It probably doesn't get any moisture or anything like that out, but the oil that I've been using so far has been pretty clean and not hardly any water in it. But anyway, like I said, yeah, this is just kind of idling. I won't run it flat out because, well, it'll start, you know, heating up. Got my garage door opener up there. I don't want to melt it down. But yeah, way better. The YouTuber oil burner was right on about the pressurized air tank, really evening things out. So now basically, and like I said, it was melting those iron pipe fittings after about 5 minutes after it'd been, of course it'd been running on propane for about an hour and a half. So, you know, we got to give the propane some credit for getting it preheated. But it's actually burning really, really nice. There is a little bit of smoke, but like I said, you know, this is going to take a lot of fine tuning still. I may end up getting a needle valve instead of a gate valve to control the oil supply. But all in all, I'm really happy. This is going to work really good for casting iron or copper. Propane seems to be the choice for you know, inside a shop for aluminum and up to brass. But once you start stepping over brass, copper, it takes an awful lot more heat, and so I think the waste oil will be the way to go. And then cast iron, as far as I could tell last night, I couldn't get cast iron to melt on propane with this setup at all. So waste oil will be my choice there. Anyway, I think that's about it. Hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you next time.